I have long thought that we always present science as being absolute when it never is. And we need to present and make people, not make, but help them understand better that science is about disagreements and that it's fine for scientists to disagree. But within the context of a pandemic, we need to be able to explain to them what the extent that our knowledge is. I mean, how sure are we of the knowledge that we're presenting and what are our uncertainties? And we need to let people know that it's fine to be uncertain, but that we're giving the best available science in our communication. The best way to create change is through participation, where science is one of the actors in that participation, not the driver necessarily, and certainly not the main actor that's happening in solving that problem. So science becomes one of the actors in participatory science communication that looks to solve some of these big problems that we face.
But I think as far as the public is concerned, a trend that has happened and that I hope will continue and that we can build on, one positive thing that has come out of this pandemic is that we really see why and how we need specialist science journalists. And we all know that the media around the world is in crisis and that science journalism and science journalists specifically have been hit hard. And therefore, I hope that if the current business models of journalism does not allow for us to sustain these specialist health journalists, that we will see more of what is called here, and I'm sure there are models around the world, donor-funded science journalism.
Even before the pandemics, I think that at least in terms of discourse, there was a very important trend of trying to not use only the deficit model and trying to engage more science and society. The whole discussion that we see in Europe, it was already very strong in Brazil and in Latin America in general. Sometimes more in terms of discourse than in practical terms. For example, sometimes people, but it's not a problem only in Brazil. I think that this is an issue in the whole world, that we talk a lot about how we could do science communication, but in practical terms, sometimes we are delivering a lot of scientific content.
Since we're all aware that communication increasingly takes place in digitized environments with these filter bubbles and echo chambers, we need to look more deeply into what we call motivated reasoning in psychology, people's demand to be deceived, basically to look for information that confirms their existing beliefs. There are answers in social research, for example, inoculation theory, which is trying to pre-bunk the information instead of debunking myths and disinformation. So you try to prepare people to sift through that pile of knowledge there. I think there are approaches in psychology and in social research at large which have already been and will increasingly be applied in practice. And the second major trend in general would probably be that more social research is being and will be applied in science communication practice, and vice versa. Researchers, scholars in our field learn to listen better to the research needs expressed in practice, what we have called science communication praxis in our pre-conference workshop here to the Science Communication Forum.